and also candidates, very for the candidates tonight. Make sure you grab candidates' literature and lawn signs and put them out and distribute the candidates' literature with the newspapers. We also have our store here. We're selling our Trump signs. We're selling our shirts, our club shirts. So if you don't have one, get your Queens Village Republican Club shirt. And we have our raffles. Mark and Jimmy are selling raffle tickets. And this will help our club. It'll help pay down the rent, the refreshments, the printing, all our club expenses. So please help out with a raffle ticket, and you can win a bottle and $35 in gift cards. So we're going to start the meeting in a few minutes. So grab coffee and refreshments, and we'll start real soon.
Grab a chair. Want me to get you a chair? Get you a chair? No, you're not.
I don't know.
An hour from now, you're going to be exhausted. If you want a chair, I'll get you a chair from someone.
If I'm not blocking, if it doesn't look odd, another chair here.
You want a chair or not? Because they're going to start in 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes.
Yeah, maybe. Thank you.
What you want is a motorized chair.
It's okay. Oh my God, thank you.
Sorry, this seat is taken.
Uh-oh. I'll live soon. trying to see, she's sitting up there. I'm trying to sort of like allocate them actually one after another. So if I go with this one, she's over there, then I come this way.
Well, she's running around. I've seen her all night.
Okay, so.
Oh, and her, you see over there.
Ah, that's right, over there. Okay, okay, okay. She was sitting actually over there. Now, maybe she's talking. All right, so I'll find them. So then we'll just.
And this is the Nancy.
Okay.
That's lady.
I don't really have, if they are going to be speaking a little bit, so that's good then. So I don't have to go individually. It's going to be covered.
I hope they move the box.
Okay, folks, we're going to start in a minute, so everybody find your seats, and we're going to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our September meeting of the Queens Village Republican Club. We're going to start off the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Everybody could please stand, led by Army Sergeant Steve Savarese. Thank you. Please remain standing. I'm going to call up Pastor Dana Dice from the back of the Gospel Life Baptist Church to lead us in the opening prayer.
All right, good evening, everyone. Let's bow our heads and let's pray. Heavenly Father, God, we thank you for the day. Thank you that we can have this meeting tonight and hear the candidates. God, we just pray for this election and pray that you would bless our efforts in what we're endeavoring to do. We look to you and are praying for President Trump and for his safety, praying that no one is hurt. We praise you protecting him at the rally in Pennsylvania, and we pray for a resounding victory in November. And we pray for each one of these candidates as they come and they speak tonight. Help us to hear, help us to glean from this tonight. We pray for the people of Queens to make right decisions in this election. Help people to realize what's going on. Help them to consider and ponder what's going on in our lives here. Help them to be truthful with themselves. We need your help. Thank you, God, that we can have this tonight. We need your help. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Dana Dice. So I want to welcome you, welcome everybody, and so glad you're with us tonight. After a long summer, hope everyone enjoyed the summer, and we're ready to go. We're in the final stretch towards November 5th, towards the most momentous election in our lifetime, as everyone knows. So, this is the Queens Village Republican Club. We're America's oldest Republican club, established in 1875. And I was not the first president of the club. I just wanted to make that disclaimer. So, anyway, we recite our mission statement to stay on focus at the beginning of every meeting. And
Bring your voice.
Our mission is to support the principles, the America First principles of the Republican Party, and to support our candidates who uphold these principles of our Republican Party. And we believe in maximum personal freedom. We believe in constitutionally limited government. We believe in the First Amendment, free speech rights, religious freedom, the Second Amendment, right to bear arms. We believe in the sanctity of life and traditional family values. One man, one woman, only two genders, that's all there is. And we believe in free market capitalism and the opportunity for every citizen to achieve the American dream. We support legal immigration and we oppose illegal migration. We say close the border, deport the illegal aliens, build a wall, and bring back President Trump to get all this accomplished. So we say also that we stand with Israel. We say drill, baby, drill. We say, and we support our veterans. We support our U.S. armed forces. We support our police. We support our firefighters, our first responders, and we support our 45th President, Donald Trump, and soon to be our 47th President of the United States. Friends, we have with us our local candidates, and they are here to enlist your support. And let's give them all we got, because they're all going to win. I'm confident that President Trump is going to win. Look at his numbers going up in the polls. Did you hear that even the Waltz family is backing Trump? Or at least they don't like Tim. But anyway, I want to read off a couple of very important dates that you should know. Information you all need to have, so when you go around knocking on doors, talking to your neighbors, helping them to get out to vote, you'll be able to give them this information. And anyone, please ask us for a list. We'll give you a list of the voters in your election district. So election day is November 5th. Early voting is October 26th to November 3rd. Absentee ballot applications, if you can't get to the poll site in person, you can send in an absentee ballot application anytime. Send it in early, and you'll get the ballot in the mail. If you can't make it in person to the poll site or any one of your neighbors, can't make it there. The last date to register to vote is October 26th. Pick up the voter registrations at the front. You can pick up absentee ballots at the front. To change your party registration to a Republican, you can do that anytime, and it's effective immediately. Now, to find your poll site, go to the Board of Elections website, vote, NY, all the voter information. You should be familiar with that website. So when you go to your neighbors, knock on their doors, get a list from us, and let's get them out to vote and supporting our candidates, and let's make Queens red. So we can do it. We're going to hear from a lot of candidates tonight, so I hope you give them your full attention, and let's get them elected. So we have just announced our Sunday, every Sunday we meet in Cunningham Park, and it's at Union Turnpike, 196 Place, by the parking lot, by the bocce courts, and meet us every Sunday. Look for the big Trump flags and Trump signs. We'll be out there recruiting, talking to voters, and having a seminar to get involved in the political process and becoming a catalyst for change in your community. So we're active, we're engaged, and we're asking you and your friends and neighbors to join us in the process and let's get our fellow Republicans off the couch and out there helping our candidates win. So now we're gonna have our Meet the Candidates night. But first, I want to give another shout out to our great videographer here, Jim Dukas. Let's thank Jim for videotaping everything so those who couldn't make it can see, can listen to the candidates, and can learn. First, before we start our candidates night, let me call up a very special person. It's our Moms for Liberty Queens Chapter Chair. Come on, baby. She's also a recording secretary, and she wears many hats, including the MAGA hat, which we're going to get next week.
Good evening, everyone. Good to see everybody again. Thank you for coming. Just a quick reminder. Prop 1. Urgently needs to vote no on Prop 1. That's a whole, I might take a bit time for the candidates. But please, you can go to protectkidsny.com. It explains everything about why parents, especially parents, but all of us, not just parents, should vote no on Prop 1. This is the most critical issue of our time right now, because if this proposal passes, it's going to change the way we live in New York. You're not going to live here anymore. And just a little word about the summit. There were 9 of us that went to the summit, Moms for Liberty Summit in Washington, D.C. The good news was we didn't have any protesters. I was amazed. Maybe they're tiring us out. I don't know. But there's now 130,000 Moms for Liberty members across the country in 48 states, including Utah and Vermont. So we're growing. We have a mom's anthem. We have our own anthem now. Hopefully I get to play that one night during one meeting. And we're putting legislation all across the country. And Title IX. Okay, we got the temporary injunction against the President of the United States. So if anybody is a member of Moms for Liberty and has a child in school, then in that school they can't implement the new Title IX. So that's critical. And any current members are covered under our injunction, and future members. So if you have children in school, please join us and get protection for your child, for your grandchild. And that's it. There's a sign up in the back if you want to join us. We really need an army to fight this fight. So, Laura?
I'm sorry, I just wanted to add to what she's saying, that anybody can run for school board. You do not need a child in the school. So we need more people who are pro-parents' rights to get involved. So think about running for school board.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much. I left these cards on everybody's table.
Okay, thank you, Elena Chin, our Queens County Moms for Liberty Chapter Chair. And I will go and say, okay, I'll try to talk. Am I too loud or? Everybody's on.
You're not loud enough.
Oh my God, Jimmy James is here. All right. Okay, we're going to get to our candidates second, but first I want to give a little plug for our newspaper, the Queens County Beacon. As you know, this is the third year of our newspaper, of our great newspaper. We all write for it. We hope our candidates write something. We distribute it to 10,000 people in Queens, and it's making an impact. And we need ads. We need, the printing costs have gone up. It's very expensive. We're losing money every month. I think we may have broke even 1 month. So please, get an ad. Business card ads are very cheap, just $50. And if we fill a page with business card ads, we can really make, some money and pay the printing costs. We're doing this as a service for the Republican Party to get our message of truth and freedom and hope out to the people. Our September issue is incredible. Anyone who reads it is going to instantly vote for Trump and our candidates. and our October issue is going to be even more amazing. And the candidates, feel free to write your story, and let's get the word out there to the people of Queens. Okay, now we're going to start our candidates night, and we're going to have a Q&A afterwards, except I think Yatin has to leave early so she can take some questions when she speaks. But let me call up first, our first candidate we're calling up is Stephen Weiner. He's the Queens County Surrogate Court Judge candidate, and he'll be on the ballot on the Republican, conservative, and common sense lines. So you can vote for him on any one of those lines. Stephen, thank you for coming, and here, let us know about yourself and your campaign.
Yes, Steve.
Thank you all the members of the club and the guests and the candidates. I'm Stephen Weiner, candidate to serve for judge. Let me ask you a question to start.
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Do you agree with me that this election on November 5th is the most important election you've ever seen in your lifetime? I agree, it is. And it's not obviously it's not about me, but it's about the head of the ticket all the way down. But have you ever seen an opposition candidate who was in court so many times at the behest of the people who are running the country, dragging him into court, or in the state of New York or various courts? Have you ever seen this kind of conduct addressed towards an opposition candidate? Have you ever seen that? No. Okay, I say that to talk about how important judges are. You know, New York City has so many Democratic elected judges. It's just considered almost unthinkable. The Republican runs the position. And this position, I'm running for surrogate court in Queens. We cannot think of a Republican in living memory who's ever run for it. And part of how that works is a surrogate court judge has a term of 14 years. Think about that. It's almost, it's a half a lifetime in effect for a professional career, 14-year term. But it's a very important position. There's only one surrogate court judge for the whole county, and that court decides cases involving wills, trusts, estates, guardianships, adjustment adoptions, and I want to tell you something about myself and why I think I can bring change to this court, and why this, in its own little corner, is one of the most important races that we can see. Okay, here's my background. I didn't come from privilege. I grew up in the Bronx, when it was known as the Burning Bronx. There was tremendous crime in the 1960s, 1970s. As a young boy, I rode the subways alone at times, and it was a very difficult time. And the Bronx was controlled almost entirely by the Democratic Party while it was burning, while the crime was skyrocketing. And I saw that. And I did have I didn't have a chance to get a good education. Neither of my parents had the opportunity to go to college. My father was a World War II veteran who was served in the Navy. And I'm proud of him. And my mother and father were both working people. They didn't take handouts, but they worked in a tough environment. And I went to the Bronx High School of Science. I got a partial scholarship to Yale. I went to Columbia Law School. I became a member of the Columbia Law Review, which is the highest academic journal at Columbia. And then I worked at two of the major law firms that were in Manhattan, two of the biggest law firms. One of them was called Cato, Gordon, and Rondell. It was famous for having tough Irish litigators. And I was a trial lawyer for a long time. And about 20 years ago, I focused entirely on wills, estates, and guardianship, which is what the surrogate court does. So I've had decades of experience doing the work, and I, in fact, was appointed by one of the surrogate judges in Queens. His name is Robert Nauman. He appointed me to some cases as an attorney for people who didn't have a lawyer. So I've seen this court, I've been in the court, and know what it's all about. And one of the things that I saw is that it's one of the key patronage operations for the Democratic Party, because the surrogate appoints lawyers to handle certain matters from the bench, and it also has a law firm. And the law firm that represents the surrogate court is the chief election lawyer law firm for the Democratic Party of Queens. And it's publicly documented, the law firm makes millions and millions of dollars over time. So this has been going on for a long time. It's sort of a closed, not very well-known corner of the court system where a lot of resources have been rewarded people who help the Democratic Party. I want to change this, and I want to change it by making a fair court where people are selected based on merit. That's the way I grew up, that you judge people by the content of the character and by how they can accomplish things. That's the way it should be. It shouldn't be political, there shouldn't be other criteria that have nothing to do with the law. And I also believe that the rule of law doesn't operate one way for one party and the other way for another party. Thank you. How am I going to do all this? Well, I need your vote. This is a tremendous fight because the Democratic Party will fight fiercely to keep this position in their control. And we have support all over the county. I'm so grateful. There are candidates here who are helping with my literature, putting up signs around the Queens. You know, to do the entire county is no easy thing. I haven't run for office before. Just so you know, when I left law school, I worked at these major firms. In the 1990s, I opened my own firm. I know what it is to have your own business. My opponent has been a lifetime civil servant, I would say. You might call it that way. She's been employed by the government, basically. And I've been out there in the trenches doing law for private clients since the 1990s in my own firm. So I know, and those of you who are in business, what the challenges are that you face. And I've been in New York City the whole time. The other part of it is there's some differences between me and my opponent. She's an attorney who became admitted to New York Bar in 2007. I started practicing in 1985. I have double the years of legal experience. She is not a wills, trust, and estate attorney, which is what this court involves. It's like going to having a cardiac problem and saying, I'm going to go to somebody who does another kind of specialty. Let's say it's osteo, something like an anesthesiologist or something else. You know, not going to a cardiologist. That's really what we have. It's sort of a mismatch. And what happened is the Democratic Party went into its ranks of supporters, and the other candidate has to be a Supreme Court judge who doesn't wills in the states, and has 9 years left in the Supreme Court term, and for a reason I don't know, is pursuing this position. Let me mention one other thing about why this is personal for me. I have my lovely wife, 38 years is here, and I'm so grateful she can make it, especially in the she can recover. We have a developmentally disabled son, and I was appointed in the 1980s as his standby, successor guardian by the Queens Surrogate Court. One of the things the Queens Surrogate Court does is guardianships for developmentally disabled people. Having him in my family, being with him for decades, and seeing other families and what the challenges are in educating and helping, I would be especially sensitive to the families of the developmentally disabled people who need these guardianships. The guardianship is put in place because they can't make their own health decisions. They're not able to decide these things realistically. And when they get 18, the parents, the closest people, have to be appointed to make the decisions for them and basically help them in every possible way. And it can also be done earlier as well. So I really want to do this for the people of Queens. I want to see a court that's good for not just the families of disabled people, but also good for people who lost their loved ones. And it shouldn't be I mean, who here thinks that when people die in Queens, somehow that should benefit the Democratic Party? Does anyone believe that? No. I mean, we gotta end it. We can end it in this election. This is our opportunity. Thank you. Stephen Weiner is serving as court judge, and there'll be so many names on there. And by the way, one last thing, there are other judicial candidates here. We're not running against each other. There's only one, it's a one-to-one circuit court race. So I'm on the Republican, conservative, and common sense party lines against the Democratic candidate. So it's one-to-one. The other judges here are running for different judicial positions where there are multiple candidates, and they're going to explain it. So thank you all for your attention. God bless you.
Okay, wait a minute, Steve, you have your signs here?
Yeah, I have some lawn signs here too as well. Thank you. Yeah, we have literature too. I'll get you more palm cards. I brought that. There's a wonderful article about it. Thank you. Yes, there is an event on September 17th. We are having a fundraiser. One other thing, my campaign does not get matching funds, so it's very tough to run the campaign.
Why not, Stephen?
The state does not, the law doesn't provide for it. So maybe that's part of how they keep control of the judges, because they don't fund it. Exactly, they don't fund the judicial campaigns, it's all from the people. That's the only way we can do it, and I need your help. September 17th, come to the fundraiser, and it'll be at the Oasis. At the Oasis, thank you.
Okay, folks, we have some of these posters, take some posters, take some literature, and get the word out. And we'll see you on September 17th at Oasis Cafe in Bayside to support Stephen Weiner for surrogate court judge. And you can get his lawn signs, they're in the back there. And they're free. Okay, next, I want to call up Michael LaPietri. He's the U.S. Congress candidate in the 3rd Congressional District. He's on the Republican, conservative, and common sense lines.
Yeah, no, that's all right. Michael LaPietri, good evening, everybody. I'm on the Republican line, conservative lines. I'm your Republican nominee for Congress for New York 3, which includes the Whitestone, Douglaston, Bayside Terrace, and Queens Village and Little Neck areas. So my background is, we'll take questions at the end.
Is that the George Santos seat?
That's the old George Santos seat. All right, here we go. The old George Santos seat. I'm the former New York State Assemblyman. I defeated a Democrat incumbent to win my seat in the New York State Assembly. And since then, I was the #1 supporter of law enforcement. I was a top champion for legal immigration and securing our borders. I was #1 in making sure we put more money in our pockets and voted against tax increases. And most importantly, each and every one of you will enjoy this, is that I'm endorsed by our former and next President of the United States, President Donald J. Trump. In this seat, I was with President Trump. I was with President Trump last month. And I was talking to him all about this seat. And I was making sure that he knew that this seat in Queens and Long Island is in play, baby. This seat is ours to take, baby. This seat is ours to win, baby. Because we come out and we make sure our voices are heard. We make sure we go to the polls and we vote. Ooh. That's right, baby. We will be riding that red wave right here in our home. And we will do that together because that's what it's about. I was speaking with him at a pro-Israel event, focusing on we supporting each and every one of us, standing with Israel, making sure we stand up to anti-Semitism, where we will not tolerate those who wish to hate, those who wish to espouse this hatred and try to turn the tides, divide us. No. Not us. Not us. Right here. I was at the World Summit for Counterterrorism in Israel 2 years ago, where I heard firsthand from the heads of the IDF and the Mossad. You know what they said? He said to the entire gallery who was present, they said, if you have weakness in the United States leadership,
That's right.
if you do not execute hard power against these terrorists across the world, those like Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, but most importantly, we remember who was the head of the snake, the terror republic of Iran, who wishes to fund each and every one of them. The heads of the IDF and Mossad, they warned, if you do not have strength in the United States, they will feel empowered. They will feel that they can attack Israel. They can revolt against Israel. And what did we see on 10/7 last year? What did we see? We saw a disgusting, disgraceful attack. And I refuse to ever allow anyone in our House of Representatives to ever allow that type of hatred to perpetuate. No. It will not happen. When we see members of the squad who wish to espouse this hatred of anti-Semitism, when Michael LaPetri is your next congressman, I promise you, they will be silenced. I promise you, we will speak loudly and supportive. And I promise you, we will be there to champion the Jewish community because we stand united. Republicans, we stand together, we stand united, we stand with Israel. We are for the GOP. Why, ladies and gentlemen? Because we believe in the grand opportunity party. No matter where you're from, no matter what you look like, no matter what sex you are, you can achieve and you can succeed in this country, in these United States. So I'm looking forward to being out there, being your advocate, being your champion, being your voice, because at the end of the day, we believe in organic, bottom-up solutions, hard work over handouts, merit instead of identity politics, and action over words. You can count on me because I've already done it in the New York State Assembly, and I'm going to do it again as your next United States Congressman. God bless you. Thank you all so much. Thank you so much. So I have to run to another event in the district, but I wanted to see if there's any questions before, just a couple of questions I can take before I have to leave. I know we have great candidates that want to come on, so I don't want to take up any further of their time. But yes, sir, you have a question.
What's this administration doing to bring our hostages back? We don't hear a word from them.
Not a single word. And that is what I call cowardice. Those are spineless representatives, and they do not represent us. When you see me in there, I will not tolerate even a day going by. In this district in New York 3, we still have an American hostage taken. Omer Neutral is taken and away from us. That is disgraceful. That's about to be 1 year. Are you kidding? Think about it. When, of course, there were hostages in Iran, President Biden was fine to negotiate, fine to pay money. But now, all of a sudden, no, you can't have that. No, it doesn't work like that. Those are the double standards of the Democrat Party that I will not tolerate. I want to have it where it's equal at all levels, and come January 1st, after we win on November 5th, I will hit the ground running, making sure they are coming home, and they better be home before that. Bring them home now. That's what's about. That's what's about. We will galvanize them. We make sure our voices are heard November 5th. So I ask you, please, to go out and vote. Get your friends, get your family, get your neighbors. Because I'm not here to sit in the sidelines, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to get it done. I don't come from a political family. I'm here to make sure we have a voice for each and every one of us, to make sure that we can make a difference. And I believe that tomorrow can be a brighter day than today. And I believe that tomorrow we will cast away the shadows and problems of the past, and we will put forward the light for success and solutions.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mike.
One more question, yes, please. What's the question?
Be able to debate this.
The question is, am I going to be able to debate two-faced Tom Swazi? Of course I am. October 8th, baby. October 8th, we have a debate scheduled right now with News 12. We're working on it for another city, for a city debate as well. And you can rest assured that I'll be up there ready to go to advocate. Because at the end of the day, while he's about power, we're about the people. Thank you guys and have a great night. God bless you. Thank you, Michael, the PC.
LePetri, okay! Michael LePetri, grab his lawn signs, grab his literature, and let's get the word out. Next, we're gonna hear from Yatin Shu is here with us. You've heard from her before. She's running on the Republican and Conservative lines for New York State Senate in District 11 against Toby Stavisky, who is very, very old.
Bill, thank you very much for that great introduction. Good evening, everyone. Hello there, some very friendly faces. Good evening. My name is Yatin Shu. I am running for State Senate, District 11. It's a very large district that starts all the way in Astoria. I have the Steinway portion of Astoria. And then coming east to College Point, Whitestone, Bay Terrace, Douglaston, Little Neck, Oakland Gardens. We go down Glen Oaks, Belrose Manor, Queens Village, New Hyde Park, the Queens side, yes, Hollis Hills, Hollis Wood, Jamaica, and Jamaica Estates. Queens Village, did I mention? It's a very big district. The incumbent in the seat is Toby Ann Stavisky. Her name. Has been in the seat for 25 years. She took the seat over from her late husband in 1999, and the Stavisky dynasty has been in the state legislature since 1966. Wow. We in the United States, we're a democracy. I believe in term limits, and 25 years of anything gets a little old. So I'll leave it at that. So it's been 7 months since I embarked on this journey to run for New York State Senate. We have already put forth thousands of volunteer hours, from petitioning to door knocking to what lies ahead in the next 2 months. I'm running a grassroots campaign powered by all of you. Many of you have donated to my campaign, have gone out petitioning for me, and many of you are door knocking and will be helping me for the last leg. I really appreciate that. So I want to share a little bit about myself, because some of you may not have heard from me yet. I arrived in New York City with my family in 1976 through legal immigration sponsored by my aunt. At that time, I came with my parents. We did not speak English. We didn't have any social connections like many immigrants. They brought along 3 girls, I'm the oldest, to a new country. And in a couple of years, they saved enough to put a down payment on a humble home in Whitestone. God knows how they found Whitestone, but they did. We moved into Whitestone in 1979. And I lived at home until my mid-late 20s. I had student loans to pay, and that's what you do. You save and stay at home. I was fortunate to get a good job, and with my husband, we moved to our first home in Whitestone, where I had my older daughter. And since then, I have lived all around New York City, mostly to be closer to my job. I worked in corporate, we call corporate America. I worked at a couple of different healthcare companies, one that maybe some of you know, it's called WebMD. I led their product development. I was one of the top 20 executives working for this public company, so that was kind of my professional life. Not politics, not anything in government. I'm really, for the most of my life, been a very private citizen. Anyway, recently, during COVID, I returned to my home base in Whitestone. I bought a home there where I live with my husband and 2 daughters. And when things get tough and just unsure, like during COVID, you return home. And my sisters and my parents all live in Whitestone. That's where I wanted to be. So my values, often referred to as immigrant values, are American values. Because all of us, whether we're the first generation or the 4th generation, came to this country for opportunities. We believe that if you do the right things, you follow the law, you work hard, you can achieve a good life. Everyone in this room has done that, but lately, we feel that what we've worked so hard at are now at risk. We feel uneasy, unsafe, unsure about what the city has become and what our electeds are doing for us instead of to us. Having lived through the 1980s as a kid who commuted on the subways to school, I, like Stephen Weiner, went to the Bronx High School Science. I know the concerns of safety, and every time I get on the subway, my parents will worry. Fortunately, for most of my adult life, since the 80s, things have gotten better, right? And up until 2019, we were getting safer. I mean, the numbers were low. The number of people in Rikers were at an all-time low, really before COVID. Little did I know that back in 2018, there was the Blue Wave, all elected during that term. And what the Blue Wave brought was a lot of progressive Democrats with a mission to change New York. They passed bail reform, where a list of unqualified offenses are long and dangerous. They tell us now that crime is down, but all of us feel gaslighted because we don't feel safe. Compared to 5 years ago, got some latest CompStat scores, major 7 crimes are up 34% citywide compared to 2019. And far worse in Queens North, up 74% actually, because we were safe before that. Precincts 109 and 111 and 105 are the major precincts in my district, are up 150% in robberies and up to 700% in car thefts. And you know, crimes like car thefts are high volume crimes, so being up 7 times, it's a lot. So all of us have either been victims or know someone who has been. The incumbent Toby Stavisky co-sponsored bail reform. And as a 25-year term senator with seniority, you would think that she would be able to get some things done to fix it since it hasn't worked well for us. She has gone along with the progressive and has done nothing to fix the dangerous bail reform. Bail reform is a disaster, and if I'm elected, that will be my top priority in Albany. Thank you. The migrant crisis brought to us by President Joe Biden, now presidential candidate Kamala Harris, has wreaked havoc on the border states for years. But New York has now become a border state since spring of 2022. We now have over 220,000 migrants, with 70,000 of them persistently through our shelter and our social services system. The city, aka we as taxpayers, have already shelled out $5 billion. The state legislature just this spring passed another $2.4 billion to go toward the illegal immigrant services. While border crossings are a federal issue, at the state level, where I hope to be elected to, I can control a number of things. One is funding or defunding some of these programs that have attracted and have helped kept a lot of the migrants in New York. The financial burden, with $7 billion underway, is just not sustainable. And worse, we have a crime problem with the migrants. We're hearing that in Queens, about 60% of the cases in the justice system are now from migrants. Higher in Midtown Manhattan, as high as 75% are now in there. So they are assaulting themselves against each other, against residents. We've heard a number of cases, seems like every week, and against our police officers. We cannot allow this to happen. If I'm elected, I will definitely back Lakin's Law that has been put up last legislative session by Senator Ort. That is an important piece of legislation to basically work with Immigration Services, ICE, and NYPD to be able to identify and deport criminals here. Let me bring it home a little bit. So all of us that live in Eastern Queens, this is my district, we're car drivers and we're homeowners. And lately we feel like we've been under attack. Our quality of life has degraded, and our neighborhoods that we've been building are changing for the worse. Congestion pricing's on pause, but we already know that Hochul has said that she's probably gonna bring it back, likely after the November elections. And for us, that means all of us who may commute by car to the city, that's thousands of dollars in our, out of our pockets every year. Now, the other thing is the City of Yes, okay? City of Yes, many of you have been involved. This is the citywide reincarnation. This is Eric Adams' plan that Hochul tried to do last year. So believe me, this will be an ongoing assault on homeowners, whether you're single family, whether you're co-op or condo. This is going to be bad for Eastern Queens, and I've been an outspoken advocate opposing the City of Yes. Thank you. So lots to say about that, but I want to wrap up because there are a lot of other candidates. I want to let you know that Senate District 11 is a winnable seat. Stefano Forte ran in these new lines 2 years ago. He got 43%. Lee Zeldin, who ran for governor, did very well as well in this area. I'll share some good news with you guys at the very end. And most encouraging is Vicky Palladino, my councilwoman, who endorsed me. She won just in November by 20 points. So there is momentum building in this district that I'm riding on. So a couple of stats to get you guys fired up. In 2020, 70% of Republicans voted, but we make up just 15% of this district. So instead of 70%, I need 99% of Republicans to turn out and vote, okay? Now, vote early, vote absentee, vote election day, just vote, and vote straight down the line. No question, I'm gonna need independence, because we're 50%, it's 15%. I'm gonna need independents to show up and vote. 54% of them turned out 2 years ago, okay? 4 years ago, and we need to do better than that. So I am working on independence, and I also need Democrats. Democrats who are sick and tired of what's going on, common sense. We need to talk to our neighbors and tell them, like, look, don't go by your party line. You need to look at what's going on. You need to vote for candidates that stand up and speak up for values and policies that we care about. So I need Democrats to vote for me as well to win this seat. So thanks to all of you. The political media has taken notice of my race. It is a winnable seat. I've been covered in a number of local sources like Queens Chronicle and even State and City and Politico are aware of my campaign. Just a little update. I beat Stavisky in public matching funds, thanks to many of you. And that speaks to the rest of the campaign. But rest assured, she's got lots of money because she's got political action PACs that are backing her. So I am going to continue to raise money. I want to share with you that Lee Zeldin is coming into the district in a couple of weeks, so I'll share that flyer out. Hopefully you guys can hopefully stop by and attend the fundraiser. So that's coming up. And with 60 days or so to go, this is what I'm asking all of you to do. I have lawn signs in the back. If you have property that you can put it on, private property, please do not put it on, side streets and stuff. I get fined, don't do that. Take a lawn sign with you, put it in front of your yard, wherever you can put it. I would really appreciate that, okay? It's hard to get people to open doors and then they see a sign back and forth, it helps. I need you to knock on doors, okay? That is the most impactful way for me to meet voters, for you to share my story with voters, so that we can beat someone that's in office for 25 years. So door knocking is very, very important, and I need you to do that. Reach out to me on my website. I have someone who's coordinating that. We can drop off palm cards and make it really easy on you to knock on your neighbor's doors. So I want to wrap this up. I just want to thank all of you. This is a seat we must win. If I win the seat, we flip the supermajority. A supermajority in the Senate has given us all these bad policies. We have no voice, no seat at the table. If we flip the seat, they will have to come to the table and negotiate and moderate policies. So just this Sunday, I had a grand opening with Assembly candidate Kenneth Paik. So I have a campaign office now in Oakland Gardens. So it's a nice anchor right in the middle of my district for volunteers to get together and help me. Mike just left, but I will be opening up a campaign office in Whitestone as well, with Michael Petrie in another week or so, so look out for the announcement there. And I just want to thank all of you for helping me. I mean, I see so many faces around the room that has done so much already, but I need you in this last sprint to November 5th so I can take the seat. Thank you so much.
If anyone has a question, because Yakin has to leave, Kathy.
What's the address of your headquarters? Well, the Oakland Gardens is on the corner of Springfield and Long Island, Horse Garden. 58-06 Springfield Boulevard. But don't think that Ken and I are just sitting there because we're out there. But if you want to stop by, let us know. The Whitestone one is going to be on 149th Street and 16. It's right at 15th Road. Yes, 15th Road. So it's right across from PS 79, if you know where that is. Yeah, it's right around the corner. Super easy. It's next to, it's deli shop, Varsity, yes.
Bill, I got a question.
Yes.
You left out your achievement about the SAT. Yes.
Oh, gosh.
Enlighten everybody about it. The discrimination against merit and hard work.
Yes.
Again, it's a specialized high school. Right?
Thank you, Jenda. There's been a lot of things I've done in my past. I shared a little bit about my professional background, but really how I got involved in civics, in local politics, was through the lens as a public school mom. In 2019, when Bill de Blasio was going after the specialized high school, having graduated from Bronx Science, I had a connection there. And also the schools now, less so in the days when I went, but the schools now are majority Asian. So what Bill de Blasio wanted to do was really, an attack on Asian Americans who take a race-neutral, race-blind test. They score well enough to get into these schools by merit, and he wanted to change that. So I've been doing education advocacy since 2019. I'm quite connected to the citywide parent networks in, trying to make sure that our public schools, which is really the ladder to social mobility for the working class, for the immigrant class, for the middle class, that we maintain the high quality of education that we want our children to get, focusing on math and science and social studies and less on all the other things that they want to do.
One more question.
Bill, I am also an education activist.
Yes.
Since 2019, along with Yates and Jen. I think our first rally was at the Queens Criminal Courthouse.
That's correct.
I've been in Albany. I've been all over New York City, all over New York State. I know Yates and Jen, too, is a Hillary Clinton supporter. She voted for Hillary Clinton. She voted
What's
for
your
Joseph.
question, Dave?
I'm getting to my question. She voted for Joseph Biden. My question is, will she 100% right now support my president, Donald John Trump? That's my question, Don.
I'm running a local race.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that.
You know
I
what?
want to hear on the presidential level. Who do you support?
Like everyone else, we go to the
She won't
ballot.
answer the question. I got it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The question is, the question is,
Is that the last question?
will you support Donald Trump? I want to hear. The people deserve an answer.
I deserve
The people deserve an answer. Shut the fuck up. You hear me? Shut the fuck up.
Hey, watch your language or you'll be asked to leave the building.
Answer the question, Yates and Chu. Answer the question.
Let me answer the question.
She won't
Let me
answer.
discussed.
Can you listen? Can you listen to
I've
that?
been very outspoken
Don't tell me to.
about who I am not voting for. I was not going to vote for Joe Biden, and I will not be voting for Kamala Harris.
Good.
Have to say that. Have to say that. Are you voting for Trump? Are you voting for Trump? You won't answer the fucking question.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Yate. Her signs are in the back. Please support her. Her prom cards are here, and we're gonna call up our next candidate. Is Paul King. He's also running for Congress in the 5th Congressional District on the Republican Conservative and Common Sense line.
Good evening, everyone. I'm a grandfather, I can wait. All right, so yes, I'm Paul King. I'm running for Congress, the 5th Congressional District. That is, thank you.
Gregory Beeks, gotta go.
So that starts on the Queens side of the UPS Arena, cuts across Jamaica Estates to Forest Park, and everything down to the ocean, down in Rockaway where I live. And yes, I'm running against Gregory Meeks. Now, I usually don't say much about Congressman Meeks, but I think you should know a little bit about the guy who's been in Congress for going on 26 years. He's represented my part of the district for more than a dozen years. I'm a community leader. I have met him in a job in civics twice. I asked him to throw out a first pitch at a Rockaway Little League game 12 years ago. And then last year, for the first time ever, he called a civic meeting. We wanted to talk about the migrant camps, because he's got the most migrant camps in his district than any place in the world. And, or, you know, illegal immigrant camps is a better way of putting it. And he was trying to, like, make sure that didn't stick to him, even though he was head of the Foreign Affairs Committee when the problem went through the roof. And it's in his whole career. He's been there, again, 26 years. He has passed 7 bills that he's been sponsor of, so about 1 every 4 years. But it's actually much worse than that. If you take out the commemoratives, the bridges that got renamed, the post offices, and the one bill that just has his name on it because he was a committee chairman once, that leaves 1 bill. 1 bill in 26 years. And it's not just a problem of quantity, it's quality. He votes with Joe Biden 100% of the time to my neighborhood. You know, just last week, someone was robbing bikes and things while people were on the beach in Rockaway. Guys from Ecuador, living in a shelter in Jamaica. And you walk through the DA's office, you think they would take out someone like that, but he's still here. You know, and that's what we've been getting with Gregory Meeks as our representative. And you say, well, how does he keep getting reelected? Well, he's got the Floyd Flake machine behind him. There's like 8 Democrats and every Republican in my district. It's a tough race. So people can rightly ask, well, will it be different this year? And I can tell you, it is different. When I go and speak to the Guyanese community, the Bengali community, all the different immigrant communities, but also in the African American communities, people who've been here for generations, whether they're struggling or whether they're in the middle class neighborhoods, they are all sick and tired. They're tired of the high prices. They're tired of having migrant camps dumped in their neighborhoods. You know, they're tired of the Democrats doing what they're doing in Albany, undermining morality, undermining parents, undermining their values. And they're open to change, and this year we're going to do that. And with this victory that we're going to pull off in New York Live, it's going to be seismic. We're going to take out the head of the Democratic Party, and we're going to put to rest, we're going to crush the myth that so-called people of color don't vote for Republicans.
Yeah.
I guarantee I'll be famous for at least 2 weeks. So, but in my time going around, every community, I talk to them individually, hear what their needs are, their concerns are. You know, it's often a lot of it varies, but there are 5 key themes. And I'm putting those together. Next week I'm rolling out something I'm calling the Contract with Southeast Queens. And but because I'm in the legendary Queens Village Republican Club tonight, y'all get a preview. 5 principles, 5 promises. Number 1, Americans over illegal immigrants. The Democrats like to say we're against immigrants. You know who doesn't believe that? Illegal immigrants. You ask them. Any community, whether they're from Asia, South Asia, there's many countries, they're ticked off that people are getting kicked ahead of line. They're illegal. Well, we're going to fix that in 2 ways, working with President Trump. One is, we'll get these camps closed, but the key to that is fixing the darn border, once and for all. We'll get it done.
Yes.
Cut off the flood, then you can solve the problem. As long as it's wide open under Biden or Harris, we'll be swamped. Cut off the flood, we can solve the problem, and we will. Item 2 affects everyone. You got to reduce the cost of living.
Yes.
You know, that is the most number 1 pain point everywhere I go in Queens. Yeah, everything is too expensive. You get so many fewer groceries. It's harder to feed your family if you're working class, if you're on a fixed income. And Biden broke this and needs his help. They like to spend money. They spend our great-grandchildren's money. They're not even born yet. They borrow all this money. They devalue our dollars in our pocket. And then they drive up the cost of energy. Again, that's something I can work with President Trump to fix pretty quickly. Get spending under control and lower the cost of energy by freeing up American energy. Yes. We'll all feel that in our wallets and we'll feel it quickly. Item number 3, everyone's American dream. It's supposed to be the land of opportunity for everyone, just everyone who comes here legally. I'm a problem solver in my professional life. I see what's broken in education, in access to capital, in access to homes, in access to jobs. I'll work with the Republican majority and put programs out there that solve this problem for everyone. We don't need to give money to people and just say for the heck of it, to be like, oh, life's giving you a bad break. We need to give them what we always used to talk about under Reagan. We need to give them a hand up and a fair shot. We will fix the American dream. We'll fix the land of opportunity. Queens is the gateway to the land of opportunity. The immigrants come here for the chance, they're going to get a fair chance if they came here legally. Item 4, which is just huge, because it ties to this Prop 1 nonsense, is protecting parents' rights.
Yes.
Every parent is scared to death of the thought of, I can send a kid to school and then get a medical procedure, then get a vaccine. They're making medical and educational decisions without telling the parents. That is fundamentally wrong. It's fundamentally un-American. And we're going to stand up for parents' rights from soup to nuts and give them more choices in education so their kids can get a better education. And how am I doing time?
A little bit more, we'll have questions at the end.
Okay.
You stay, right? You stay.
Yeah. I'm not racing off. I'm not talking about anybody else. I got to tell you, we must defeat Proposition 1, but it's gold for us too, because the proposition is poison. And when you explain it to people, not just the Republicans, but it helps us get our turnout, you explain it to common sense Democrats, anyone who's got a kid, parents, Democrats, independents, it makes them want to vote, and it makes them want to vote the right way. So we've got to educate people. It's a Trojan horse, but if we educate them, this is going to be a huge asset for us to sweep and win from top to bottom. But item 5 on my contract is bring back safe streets. I don't think I can explain that to anyone. People like the Tan, people like Dwayne, they're going to go to Albany and fix what's broken in Albany. I'll work with President Trump to do what the federal government's done in the past. Fund massive hiring and training of new cops. We need to get the New York City police force back from 30,000 closer to 40,000. Let them do their jobs, keep us safe, and we'll do the rest. So I ask you to help me get this message out. You know, it's working great everywhere because this is common sense. It's not rocket science. This is what we all believe. This is what normal people believe. So whether it's lawn signs, but you know, we need great turnout. Jim was talking about knocking on doors. I love how my district's even way bigger. You can stay home and make phone calls. If you can do that, we can reach tons of people. We'll get them out. We'll win this election. I look forward to getting your help. And I thank all of you in this club for being here and being patriotic Americans.
Thank you, Paul. We're going to have questions after all the candidates speak because we have a few more we want to get up here. And next, let me call up Dwayne Moore. He's running for... You have some fans here, Dwayne. New York State Assembly in District 29. Dwayne, come on up.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, Dwayne!
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Again, my name is Dwayne Moore, and I'm running for New York State Assembly in District 29, which encompasses Rosedale, Springfield Gardens, Littleton, Hollis, Jamaica, Addis Lake Park, and St. Albans. And the reason I decided to run is because I feel like the American dream is under attack. So a little bit about me. I love this country. My family has been in this country since the slave ships entered from West Africa. And even though this country has its complex history, as almost every place has, Democrats like to make it seem like my ancestry is full of victims, but no, we were victors. Just as anyone that came to this country. Had to start from the bottom, work their way up. My ancestors were business owners. They worked building the once world-class bridges and tunnels in this country overnight, making this the dominant power of a country that it once was. My grandparents came from Virginia, moved to New York, was able to afford a home in East New York, Brooklyn, raise a family. My family was able to buy a home in Rosedale, one of the best neighborhoods and one of the wealthiest areas for black people to live in the country, also one of the wealthiest areas for black people to live in the world. And then to produce me, my ancestors' wildest dream, to be able to go to Stony Brook, graduate with honors, be able to become a teacher, working successful, be able to become a model, travel the world, things that my ancestors dreamed of. And even though they didn't have that opportunity, just as many immigrants that came here first generation and they struggled, they dreamed of that American dream for their kids, for those future generations. They struggled so they could buy that first home, take care of it and pass it down. And what I see right now, that dream is in decline. It's slipping away from us, under attack by our own elected officials. And I have a personal story. This very morning, I was getting into my car to go to the gym as I do, and I seen a young gentleman sleeping on my porch. Sleeping on my porch. And he seen me, guys, he heard footsteps, and he got up and he started moving. And my first question to him was, "Are you okay?" He looked at me, he shook his head, and I said, "Do you need water?" He said, "No." He gave me a pound and he walked away. As frustrated as I was seeing somebody sleeping at my home, it was more sad because this is the reality of America in 2024. Our own citizens are sleeping on the street. While we can find billions of dollars to house migrants and incentivize illegal immigration and put them in four-star hotels and give them $1,400 credit cards to buy food. While teenage boy looked like young me had to find refuge, luckily in front of my house, a safe place to. But this is what America is. What is the future for this young man? Will he ever raise a family? Will he ever buy a house? Will he just rot away on the streets like generations of other Americans, veterans that fought for this country? Well, where's the priority of our elected officials? And then the few homes that we have that we're holding on to, they want to get rid of with the city of yes. So they can tear down these homes so they can have these large developments to make us look like China or India or Russia, where there's no home ownership, there's no individual freedoms, and the government gets to tell you what to do. This is what we're up against in 2024. This is the reality. And don't let the mainstream media fool you. You can't run for president and not actually have policies, especially when you're elected in office. This is, and where I'm from, Jamaica, Queens, we've been voting people in for decades. They're supposed to be advocating and helping the black community while wealth is going down, while the condition of our communities is going down. There's more degenerate behavior, young men roaming on the streets, no careers, no lives, not gonna ever have a family or ever have the American dream that I dream to have. We are in decline. Our once pristine streets crumbling away. A train system that looks like it should be of a third world country, not the wealthiest in the world. And what are our elected officials doing? Just nothing. What do they tell the black community? Don't vote for them. They're racist. They're racist. They're racist. Why they keep stealing money? They keep doing whatever they want, lying to us. So for me, this is personal. As someone that's a proud American, that believes in this country, that wants to see us grow and improve, that wants to see us improve the schools. Our kids, less than 50% of kids in New York City are reading on grade level. What have the Democrats done to improve that? Boy, I mean, they put a lot of nonsense stuff in the school system. They'd rather teach a kid about pronouns and actual real skills. This is what they do. What are they doing about that? Less than 30% of black kids reading on grade level. No math, nothing. What are they doing about affordability? They say, I'm fighting for you, I'm fighting for you. Can you fight for me to have an affordable city to live in? They get all of the tax money, they got speed cameras everywhere, they want to have a congestion tax, yet they're fighting for me as the bureaucratic state gets larger and larger. They get their friends cushy position to do nothing, while the average person suffers so that they can just concoct things that destroy our quality of life. So I decided to run as someone that's 29 years old, so I can get my name on the ballot, just to give people a chance. My opponent, Alicia Hyman, has never actually had a general election opponent in her entire career. That's not a democracy. That's not a democracy. At bare minimum, people have a choice this election. They got another name to select, instead of the status quo. This is about 10 years of no competition while things get worse. So, while I know the odds may not be in my favor as a first-time candidate, and I know how difficult it is, it's a belief in America. It's a belief that we can do better. We can fix the schools. We can fix the infrastructure. We can rise America up again and be great because we deserve more, America deserves more, and together when we bound and we have God in the middle and we believe in family and we have our faith, we can make America great again together. Thank you so much.
We're going to have questions at the end, but we have a couple more quick candidates here. We have Kenneth Page from New York State Assembly, District 25. Come on up.
Hi guys, how are you? My name is Kenneth Page. I'm running for New York State Assembly District 25 in Queens. Consists of East Flushing, Finsboro Hills, Gilchrist, Bayside, Oakland Gardens, Fresh Meadows. I'm a retired sergeant from New York City Police Department. I retired last year. Ever since I was a child, thank you. Ever since I was a child, I wanted to be a police officer, so I kind of built my own resume. I got my education from John Jay College. I studied police science, and after that, I served 4 years in the United States Navy. I was stationed in South Carolina. I was on board USS Patriot at '2, and then after that, I got transferred to USS Essex LHD-2. My version of 9/11 happened at 11 o'clock at night because there's a 12-hour time difference in Japan. So that's one thing that I want to talk about, the terrorism. But so I became a New York City police officer. I started working at 5th Precinct, and then I became active in Emergency Service Unit. Emergency Service Unit consists of it's known as like a cop's cop. When public calls 911, police officer shows up. But when the police officer goes there and realized, oh, this is my out of lake, they called us. So I was there about 10 years. I probably visited every precinct here in New York City more than 3-4 times. I probably visited every transit bureau for any type of incidents. I probably went to every housing bureaus for the cops' needs. I loved it. So I was a detective and I got promoted to sergeant. And when I became a sergeant, they told me, hey, you're going to go to 109 precinct. You're going to be a public safety sergeant. Public safety sergeant, the whole thing consists of looking for second major jobs. homicides, grand larceny, autos, rape, arson, you name it, all the heavy crimes, right? I retired last year, I got there about 3 years ago. I put my life on the line to catch all these bad people. I got weapons pointed at me a few times, but I used my my craziness. I didn't have to kill that guy. The knives, broken bottles. I catch this guy with my team, and next thing you know, 3 hours later, the person gets released. So my life is only worth it 3-4 hours, right? Wow. 2019, that's when we passed the bail reform, right? All this crimes that's happening, that's one, if you do the math, that's crazy. Illegal migrants, we spent $5 million, right, and counting more. That's the money for our senior citizens, that's the money for our kids, school, for us. Again, my name is Kenneth Bay. Please get out there. Nice for me. Kenneth Bay, 25. I don't need your help. Please, volunteer, anything. I'm sharing an office with Yasin Chu. Please reach out to us. Thank you for the time. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kenneth Bay. We have so many great candidates. We want to hear from Rob Speranza. He's also running for New York State Assembly in District 26. You know something, folks? This is why we need to build a county committee. Because we need people to work locally in their EDs, in their neighborhood, to help these great candidates because they're all over Queens. And we need to get more county committee and state committee members to help our candidates win. Rob?
Everybody, I'm Rob Speranza, retired police officer. I'm running for Assembly District 26, please. As one of the candidates mentioned earlier, we are excited this year. Last year I got almost 47%. Well, I we can win this. Good old fashioned door knocking. Earlier this year, the Democrat knocked me off the Republican line. Then we got on the independent line, of which 3,500 signatures for 2,000 were Democrats. They want to change. They want us to win. They want what we want to do. So, what I'm asking you guys is to help out, as I called on for 5 or 6 of you guys. You came to help me when I needed it, and I'm on the ballot. As of yesterday, made the matching funds, and we're going to be out there for votes. So I want to thank you. All common sense for money. What we want to do is nothing that hasn't been done for years. Parents need to have the right to raise their children where they should. We got to stop the crime bail reform. As a former police officer, it's the stuff that they do. It's got to change. And the sub's open. The governor wants to, my opponent, and Bornstein also the governor somewhere around 98% of the time. And we don't want the upzoning. It's a city of yes for the state. To sum it up. We got to stop it. So with your help, we can do this. We can win this. I almost did. Almost of us. And I'm going to keep it short. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you. Okay, now we're going to hear from Juan Pagan. Juan Pagan, New York State Senate, District 16.
My name is Juan Pagan. I'm running for New York State Senate and Senate District 16, which simply means I'm running against John Liu. And I'm glad that all these candidates spoke on the issues because they're my issues too. So, but I'm going to talk about one. You know what, Paul King, I love this contract. These 5. Where's Paul? That's great. That's awesome. I love it. Well, I'm going to elaborate on number 4 because that's my number 1 issue. If I were a one-issue candidate, this would be it. It's about protecting our children, protecting our parents. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to read, my website is not up yet, but I'm going to read a very short paragraph from my website. It'll be up in a couple of days. Ronald Reagan once stated, quote, "Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. It has to be fought for and defended by each generation." He's right. In regards to public education, we must take every measure to prevent the state from accomplishing their plan to academically dumb down our children and confuse their young minds with transgender ideology nor to create division as they instill anger and guilt with DEI and CRT. We must make every sacrifice to protect this generation, our children, from these poisonous ideologies. And I just want to add just one more thing. Tomorrow I start, I got a call from a teacher at a public school. Tomorrow I start teaching again at school. Children, second graders. What I wanted to say also is that they are really and truly after our children. Okay? Proposition 1, in fact, I just worked on my website. I made that the #1 issue, Proposition 1. Because you know why? No! Right, vote no on Proposition 1, okay? Because if I lose, right, I can always run again. But if this proposition passes, it's enshrined forever, and it'll have such a damaging effect upon our children in so many ways.
Turn over the ballot.
Yeah. Yes. The one thing I wanted to say, and Linda, you're going to be very proud of me. I feel like she's my mom, right? You're going to be very proud of what I'm going to say right now, okay? I visited a church, the Immaculate Community Church, spoke to the pastor there, and I told him, I took those cards, Proposition 1 cards, talked to him. They were totally unaware. He informed his entire congregation about Proposition 1 In fact, I'll be having my fundraiser at his hall, okay? And then another church that he's connected with, same thing. The congregation there understand now what Proposition 1 is all about, okay? And now it's spreading, so we got to tell people about this. That's more important to me right now than winning this election. It's about letting people know about this. Our children, we need to defend them because they are our future. The enemy knows that. And if they take over, if they succeed, then we lose. We lose our country. We don't want that to happen. God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you, Ron. We have one more candidate, Mary Ann Maloney for Queens Civil Court Judge.
They saved the best for last, right? So my name is Mary Ann Maloney. I'm not Irish. I'm actually Jamaican. Somewhere in my DNA, I'm Irish. But anyway, I just want to let you know a little bit about myself. I am a Jamaican immigrant. We arrived in this country in 1978. And I was raised in Queens Village, so I was excited to come here, yeah. I went to PS 135, Junior High School 109, went to Francis Lewis High School. And I was in the second. I say I'm 54 years old. I've been an attorney for 27 years. I say that because people are like, oh, you're so young. I'm actually not young at all. I've spent my career working in public service. And I'm running for the civil court. I'm not running against Stephen Wheeler. He's running for service court. As he explained, there's only one surrogate judge in Queens County. There are several civil court judges in Queens County. And actually on this ballot, which I just got on August 1st, there's actually 5 vacancies and there are 8 people running. What happened was Governor Hope added these positions, 3 positions in late July. So there are 3 straight Republicans running. There's one who is cross-endorsed by the Republicans and the Democrats, and then there are 3 Democrats. So when you look at the ballot, it'll say choose 5. And I hope that you choose me as one of the people who's running. And my counsel, one of the other people, Michelle, you that you're here, but he's also running. Stevens is Sharon Hill, where's I suppose? And it is, thank you so much. It is countywide, so no matter what district you live in, you can vote for us. So we're out here, it's such a short time, it's okay. We're gonna get out there. I have been a Republican since I was able to vote, since the age of 18. And, in this environment, people have tried to get me to switch, and I haven't. I've stayed true to who I am. I believe in choice. I don't believe in people taking my vote for granted.
Right.
And I've stayed true. So it's a pleasure to be here, and
Yeah, we're gonna have Stephen. Thank you, Marianne. And we do have one more candidate here, Stephen Dactera. He's also running for civil court judge, not against Marianne, he's running for his own seat, against the Democrat.
Good evening. Thank you all for your patience. Hello, Kathy. Kathy runs a great organization, Bridge to Life. Go support them. I'm not the civil court judge. What is the civil court? The civil court handles all disputes 50,000 or less. Okay? And also doesn't handle landlord-tenant. It doesn't handle ejection or criminal proceedings. So it's a very limited court, but it's very important because I used to work in the court for 2 years. I'm also in private practice for about 18 years. So I've seen both. And there's a lot of, I don't want to say corruption, but there's a lot of things that go on that are not about the law. It's just about who washes the other person's hand, right? You can't have this. So I'm about restoring the rule of law, restoring efficiency, restoring the voices to be heard. Now, we need your support. It's okay for people to come up here and say, we're going to win. But the Democrats are outnumbered as 8-1. So we got to be realistic. So we need people like you guys. I was sitting in your chair and I said, how can I help? Right? The country's going to the garbage. What can I do? What you can do is support the candidates. How? Social media is huge. Okay? Door knocking days, maybe coming to an end. Social media is where all the kids are at. Everyone's on social media. So I'm asking you guys, you have a social media account, spread the word about the candidates you're supporting. Say, hey, I met this person at Marbella. I want to support them. Support them. That's how you do it. Also, emailing people you know, right? Friends, family. When you go out, say, you know what? When you vote for these people. Because that's going to change the landscape. We need everyone to do their part. A little bit, but each person. When you're home, you're taking a walk, whatever. That's how you change. I'm going to pass a sheet later on. If you would put your name and email, I want to get people involved. I want you guys to be part of this process. So let's do this. Amen.
Okay, the candidates up. We have a couple of minutes for questions and answers. So all the candidates who are still here, come on up. And we're going to have a Q&A. All right, yeah, James first.
Yes, I'd like to ask those who are running for state office, how would they vote to keep Governor Schmuckel from passing bills that would continue to legalize abortion in New York State, and also for the federal candidates, I'd like to ask them if Harris were to be Trump, how would they vote to defeat her in terms of abortion issues?
So when I think on abortion, we need to start making the moral argument about is this a trend that we want to continue? Because it's quite alarming the rates that we have, especially in New York City. There are more black babies aborted than born. So even if you do believe that people have the right to get one within a certain time period, is this a trend that we want to have? So we need to start having deeper conversations about that as a nation, because if we truly believe that Black Lives Matter or all lives matter, it also matters for babies. And we want to have families who grow and have a healthy society. Right now, what we're seeing is with these extremely high rates, we're not having a healthy society. Too many people view that families are just disposable. So we have to start having a different conversation to get some morality back into our youth.
Up at the federal level, I agree with Phil. I think Donald Trump's going to be our president again. But I really want to build on what Wayne said about the moral argument, because Planned Parenthood does such an excellent job of marketing. It takes me off. For decades, they kept trying different messages, and somehow they won over the Democrats. Now the Democrats just repeat their bull. But Gregory Meeks, and not just him, but all the Democrats have voted for a law that would allow a healthy baby to be terminated like the day before his due date. This law would also eliminate prohibitions on sex selections, like, well, I don't want to have another daughter, so, and also eliminate laws that would, that give parents the right to know what's going on if their 14-year-old daughter's in trouble. They are so extreme. They are so extreme, but people don't realize that. And that's how we win the argument back with the moral arguments, because it gets lost with the mainstream media, it gets lost with the money, it somehow makes it seem like Planned Parenthood is the good guys in this, when they're the America's abortion backer. So that's the battleground at the federal level, sir, in my opinion.
Thank you. We have another question or comment over here.
Okay. Hi, my name is Howard Laufer. For most of you who don't know me, I've been a member of this club for many years, and I thank Phil for giving me the opportunity to say a few words on behalf of Stephen Weiner, because I am probably the guy in Queens County who knows the most why Stephen Weiner should be our next surrogate. And the reason is that I was co-counsel with him for about 2.5 years on an extremely hotly contested surrogate litigation, and where the adversary tried to take advantage of a 95-year-old man. Mr. Weiner represented family members. I represented a well-known charity who took on the same will, and we worked together. He is a person of the highest moral character. He knows his stuff. He was an able colleague, and I could say we got about as good a settlement as we could have gotten. This was in New York County. Considering the state of the judicial system in this state, and I can say 100% that I would not have gotten anywhere near for his clients or for mine without Stephen Weiner there. He knows his stuff. He knows surrogates law, unlike the other candidate who's not a surrogates lawyer, and that's why he should be our next surrogate. And I thank you, Phil, for
Thank you. Thank you. You want to comment on that?
God bless you. It was a very tough case. This is something people are taking advantage of. Some of you may know, relatives or others. It's very stay close to relatives who don't have children, who maybe have some money, because there are rings of criminals who try to get in and get into their wills and take away everything they have and take it away from their families. And so anyone who's a single uncle or a relative who has some property, they are prone to being taken care of. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. We have time for one more question, but before we do, we have our raffle prize, and raise your hand if you need a raffle ticket, and they'll go around and collect it. Anyone need a raffle ticket? And Mark will collect it in the meantime. We have one more question. Jimmy?
Thank you to all the candidates tonight. It's not so much a question as just, I'd like to say something on behalf of Yatin, who had to run out, and I'll try to be brief. It wasn't too long ago that when we voted for someone, whether it was the top of the ticket or down ballot, it wasn't anybody else's business, right? That's between you and the 3 walls inside your ballot box. So, you know, whether or not Yatin is voting for Donald Trump, I don't care. I have a lot of friends who are voting for every single one of these individuals who may not be a fan of Donald Trump. But they've assured me that they're not voting for Kamala Harris. They weren't voting for Joe Biden, they're not voting for Kamala Harris. Yatin Shu tonight reassured us that she's not voting for Kamala Harris. So I think at the end of the day, regardless of who she supports personally at the top of the ticket, we all need to come together and support Yatin Chu because she's the best choice for what she's running for. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jimmy. Anyone want to comment? And then we have to close out the meeting. Any last comment or last words? Well, look at these fine candidates. Should we take one more question? Okay, one more quick question.
The most important thing you all should do is consider and want to help human beings, regardless of their race, their religion, or anything else. And tell the other people, if you don't want human beings, get out of this country.
All right.
Brilliant.
Okay, whoever doesn't like America can leave. Okay, so let's give our candidates a great hand. Let's put their lawn signs, let's help them, and let's sign up to be a county committee member so we can help them in our EDs. Let us know if you need a list. Thank you very much, our great Republican candidates. Thank you. Okay, now we're going to have our raffle drawing. Okay, any last call for raffle tickets? Okay, with this fine bottle of wine and $35 in gift certificates. Okay, here we go.
Now wait a minute, Phil.
One more. Wait a minute, one more raffle ticket. Yeah, also we have our Trump lawn signs up front. Get one for $20, two for $30. Trump lawn signs. The next meeting is October 10th. And we'll get the word out to all of you. And every Sunday we meet in Cunningham Park. Look for the big Trump sign and Trump flag in Cunningham Park. And we talk to the people in the park. So join us every Sunday, 6 o'clock. Quick announcement by Jimmy J.
Hey everybody, just a quick announcement. Earlier this afternoon, before tonight's meeting here, we had our first Trump rally, flag waving rally of the season at Fort Tatton, the 111 precinct. Let me know that we had almost 200 people in attendance. So we're going to be doing a couple more rallies between now and Election Day. It's being sponsored by the Queens Majority. Our next event is on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, September 10th. And we're doing a debate watch party. That's going to be at Rebar by the Bridge in Whitestone. So that's Tuesday. And then Wednesday, September 18th, we're doing another rally at Fort Tatton. For those of you that don't know, September 18th is the day that they're sentencing President Trump. So hopefully later on that day we'll be celebrating. But we hope to see you in one of our upcoming events. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to have a raffle drawing now. Get the raffle tickets out.
Hey guys, really quick. September 23rd, Monday, Andrew Giuliani is going to come down to Howard Beach and he's going to headline a fundraiser for myself, for Tom Sullivan, Michael Riley. We got a good team down there. You're all welcome. Let's have some fun. September 23rd.
Okay, now we have a raffle drawing. Is everybody ready? Get the raffle. Okay, and the winner is 136 678. 136 678. We got a winner here. Come on up and get your bottle of wine and your gift certificates. with Pastor David Lisa, closing prayer.
Right in front of me. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do.
Sorry, I moved it so nobody kicked it, but I forgot you were recording.
Hey! Excuse me.
All right, let's close in prayer. Thank you for a great meeting. Thank you for the candidates very clearly speaking their beliefs, their issues, where they stand. Help us to help these get elected. Help us in our voting. Help us in our speaking to be reelected. And we pray for these candidates and pray that you'd help the people of Queens. We need your help in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Let's have a flag salute. Thank you very much, everybody. Please get home safely.
Hi.
Everybody grab